Well, folks, I'm sure you've all enjoyed my birthday special I've done to this point. I know Frank's enjoyed it so far.
I certainly have.
Yeah. Now, I honestly did not want to have to interrupt this special particularly for anything. Particularly because I'm trying to get as many segments done as possible before my actual birthday on the 15th. But, however, the internet decides that that's not how it wants to work with me, and as a result, we have to put my birthday special on pause due to a message/yellow card video. Yeah. Now, for this video, one of our members of the Discord Game Show Network has unfortunately been involved in an issue regarding poor sportsmanship. Now, let me point out exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, this incident happened last night during a game of Wheel of Fortune with Neil Rocks 87, which is dubbed, of course, Wheel with Neil. He does an excellent job with that game, by the way.
He definitely does.
Yep. But this video is not in regards to him. Now, of course, a lot of our members on the Discord Game Show Network hail from various places. Most of them from the United States, but some also hail from different other places in the world, like, for example, me being from Canada, and of course Carla, aka the Bundy Chick 82, hailing from Australia. And while I'm on the subject of Carla, I should point out right now that this video does involve her. And it's rather unfortunate that I have to involve her in this because she's a very good friend of ours and one who I've known for a few weeks now. So it pains me to have to do this, but it has to be done. During last night's game of Wheel with Neil, and I should also mention right now, these Wheel with Neil games are not recorded, so I can give the outcomes. In last night's game of Wheel with Neil, which I won, by the way, well, looks like I've got a message here on my Skype. Well, I'll take a look at it after, because I'm kind of busy right now. Now, what was I saying? Oh, yes. In last night's game of Wheel with Neil, in which the players were Carla, myself, and Matthew V21688, there, unfortunately, was an issue regarding poor sportsmanship, and the person involved is Carla. What happened was, during the game, she was complaining about I was too powerful at Wheel of Fortune, or whatever. And as I pointed out in my Wheel of Fortune PS2 segment last night in my birthday special, I am a good wheel player, along with Frank, but we don't always win the game. Am I right, or am I right?
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Now, on the Discord Game Show Network, we encourage good sportsmanship. And what I mean by that is, even if you're not playing in a game, we encourage you to be in the audience and cheer on all the players who are involved. Because that's what the group's for. One thing, however, that we do not condone, that we do not allow, is poor sportsmanship. In fact, rule number 2 on the Discord Game Show Network page on Facebook explicitly states that poor sportsmanship is not tolerated. And so, Frank, do you have anything to say in regards to this?
Oh, I definitely have stuff that I want to say about this.
Well, go ahead.
Because first of all, I've noticed in previous games that Carla has played. Now, I remember the last time she played Wheel with Neil, I believe I was playing, and I think you were playing as well. And I'm not sure if I'm correct, so don't quote me on it. I think she might have was like complaining a little bit in the last game, and I could definitely tell that she was complaining this game because because one of the people on the DGSN commented on a post saying that, asking if she was whining again, and her behavior last night, I do consider that whining because, I mean, like you said, you can't. I mean, we are good players. You're a good player. I'm a good player. But just because that a person is a good player doesn't mean that, and if they don't give you a chance, that doesn't mean you just go and like complain and whine, thinking that that we're gonna feel sorry for you and actually let you win, because it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, exactly. Now, in fact, the last game, a couple of games that I participated in were, well, ones that were filmed anyway, were Dirty Minds a few days ago. That was on Rodney1279's channel, as well as Press Your Luck on Matthew V's 21688's channel. And those last couple of appearances, like the Press Your Luck game and the Dirty Minds game that I had a few days ago, I lost at both of those games, but I was a good sport about it and congratulated the winner. Now, I'm sure, Frank, that even if you lose a game, you're still a good sport about it and congratulate the winners, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, the last time that I played Wheel with Neil, yeah, I was a little bit upset that my run was over, but, I ended up congratulating Brandon Scruggs for winning the game, and I also congratulated Rodney, too, for playing such a great game as well. And I mean, Carla, I understand how you feel. I don't like losing at games either, and I absolutely hate it when I don't get a turn, or if my first spin is a bankrupt or I lose a turn, or if I only get to call one letter. But I don't go and whine like a baby about it when clearly, especially if it's like not your turn. Because I noticed, Mark, that while you were spinning and taking your turns, Carl was like complaining most of the entire time.
Yeah, that is definitely a little more than annoying.
It's very annoying, and it's very, very rude as well.
Yeah. Now, of course, and it's not just game shows that this applies to, because I play hockey on weekends while the hockey season goes on, like while the NHL season takes place. And yes, I've lost my fair share of games too over the years. I've been playing since 1998 for the hockey, by the way. So over the last 18 years, yes, I've won my fair share of games, but I've also lost my fair share of games. But I'm still a good sport about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And as I pointed out, one of the rules on the Discord Game Show Network clearly states that you do not, clearly prohibits bad sportsmanship. Now what I'm unknown about at this point is whether Carla has autism or not. I have never asked her that, so obviously I don't know if she has a disability or not. But I do know this for a fact, is that whining and complaining do not mix.
Absolutely not.
And now, Carla, if you do watch this video, and I'm sure you probably will at some point, what Frank and I are saying in this video are meant to help you and make you a better person. Because, I mean, yes, we all make our fair share of mistakes, but we also learn from those mistakes. And that's what this video is intended for.
Exactly. We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything like that. We're just trying to help you.
Yeah.
So that in the future, you can, learn to be a good sport and actually congratulate people for winning. But one thing I do also want to mention real quick, Mark, is that, I don't know if you noticed, but I think it was at the end of the speed up round before the bonus round, she just totally left the game and didn't even stick around for the bonus round. Really?
Yeah. There was also, I think there have been other incidents of that on other games involving other players on previous shows, but I'm not going to divulge into that.
Either way, I mean, even if you've lost the game and, you know, it's still a little bit rude that you don't stick around, especially if it's Wheel of Fortune, that you don't stick around and see how the winner turns out in the bonus round. It's like, how rude is that? Like, do you agree with me?
Oh, yes, very much so. Now, of course, now Kyle was, now one thing though that I'm also unclear of is how Kyle found out about this incident, because Kyle, of course, this is Kyle Hershon I'm referring to, he was not in attendance for that Wheel with Neil game. However, Matthew V21688 was one of the players, like I mentioned, but in addition to that, he is also one of the mods for the group. So I'm under the assumption that following the conclusion of the game, Matthew likely informed Kyle of Carla's actions during the game, and that's most likely how Kyle found out about it. That's what I'm assuming. I could be wrong, but I think that's likely what happened. Wouldn't you think so too?
Yeah, because as soon as the game was over, like a few minutes after the game was over, Rodney posted on the Facebook group page and tagged Carla in a post asking if she was whining again during the game. And so, I'm not sure how he found out, but maybe... But you could be right. Matthew could have possibly told Kyle, and then maybe Kyle told Rodney, or maybe Rodney just managed to find out somehow. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, because Kyle and Rodney, I think, are admins too. Oh, and looks like Hunter Dillon's calling me. I will get back to him in a moment. Now, suspensions have already been handed out by Frankie, Matthew, Rodney, and Neil on their ends, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to do the same thing. In terms of my games, well, actually, I'm really only planning to host one on YouTube right now, which of course is Millionaire, which is supposed to debut on Wednesday. But when that begins, Carla, unfortunately, will not be allowed to play the first two shows. I hate to have to do this, I mean, because generally I am a very lenient person, but sometimes we have to be strict also, and that is the case here, is it not?
Yeah, like Neil commented on one of the posts on the group page on Facebook, and he said he's given Carla too many breaks.
Yeah. So Carla, unfortunately, we're going to have to declare you ineligible for my first two shows of Millionaire. In addition to that, I am also issuing a secondary penalty and putting you on yellow card. Now, I'm trying to figure out how long this is going to last, because, let's see, because right now, as of the time I'm filming this, it's approximately 1:23 p.m. Eastern, in the Eastern Zone on July 3rd. And Carla, being in Australia, is 14 hours ahead, as I found out from the Google Time Converter. Which means that it's early morning on Monday, July 4th in her area. So taking the time differences into account, I've decided that the yellow card will last until about 1:30 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, July 17th, which would translate to approximately 3:30 a.m. Australia time, Monday, July 18th. So, sorry Carla, I didn't want to have to do this, but but there was no choice in the matter. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I thank Frank for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you all soon.